morning and a very warm welcome to all of you at our FinTech as a Force for Good and Innovate Finance Forum, which looks at the power of FinTech to create a more sustainable and inclusive financial world for all. I am Rashi Pandey, Associate Director of Membership and Growth at Innovate Finance, and I have to say, it's absolutely marvelous to see so many familiar faces here today. I will be your host for today, and yes, I do have sneakers in case I do get tired. It's absolutely amazing that we are back, the third year of our FinTech as a Force for Good event. And we are proud to bring together this forum, looking at the purpose and mission behind one of the most exciting sectors. So thank you so much all for being here with us today. And I know that many of you have made some logistical efforts to be here. However, London, I quote, has been ranked the best city in the world for the 9th year running in an annual study by Renaissance. So I say let's make the most of it today. But before we go on, I am thrilled to announce the launch of our inaugural London FinTech CEO Forum, which will happen and take place in November to bring together the CEOs of the highest growth UK FinTechs for peer-to-peer discussions on crucial topics affecting our industry, such as governance, leadership, culture, net zero, listing and exits, and of course, the political landscape. In the coming weeks, we're also starting our new program called Future Gazing, which will be delving into emerging technologies and its implications for the industry. And on diversity, as part of our mission to drive diversity and inclusivity for the FinTech sector, we have launched the very first Pride in FinTech Power List to celebrate all the LGBTQIA+ individuals transforming financial services. So we look forward to pushing this agenda and seeing you all at our launch event in December. And moreover, for all of you who already know this, and for those who don't, our 2023 Women in FinTech Power List applications will also open soon in November as well. And for our startups and scale-ups, our Innovate Finance FinTech Academy for startups and scale-ups continues to grow as we cover scaling strategies and approaching FinTech VCs for investment. So thank you all for joining us for those this year, and please don't miss our upcoming sessions as well. So coming back to our FinTech as a Force for Good forum today, the cost of living crisis has underlined the need for our financial services industry to innovate and push forward solutions that better serve the customer, enabling greater access to better products at a lower cost. In doing so, we must ensure that we are building responsible, sustainable, and purpose-led businesses as we scale and grow as an industry. And that's why we're here today, and you will be personally hearing from all these purpose-led businesses. We will explore FinTech's expanding role in supporting consumers through the current economic uncertainty, as well as the sector's ability to help drive forward the wider ESG agenda, while examining how we can ensure our companies are scaling responsibly. And we want you to get involved, and not only here today by connecting with those around you and with our speakers, but also on social media. Please do use the hashtag FinTech4Good and tag Innovate Finance at Infin. And before we continue our jam-packed, exciting agenda for today, a little housekeeping. You can find the full day's agenda on the app, which you can find through the QR code on the back of your badges on the screen. The meeting point is right behind on that side. The emergency exit, the four corners of the main hall and two at the end of the gallery. And the emergency evacuation point is Jubilee Park, which is opposite the venue. And all of the security today will be your emergency marshals. Refreshments and lunch will be provided throughout the day at the back of the room, and we will also be hosting networking, so please do stay with us for some tea and coffee as soon as we wrap up for today. And finally, before we start, we would like to thank all of our Innovate Finance's silver and bronze sponsors for supporting this event, and our gold sponsors, Barclays, Rise, and Visa. So, without further ado, let's get going. I would like to start by welcoming someone incredibly passionate about delivering a more inclusive, sustainable, and accessible financial services sector. For me, she is also a mentor, and for all of you, let's put our hands together to welcome Janine Hart, the CEO of Innovate Finance.
Hey everyone, well it is fantastic to see all of you here this morning for the third annual Innovate Finance FinTech as a Force for Good Forum. I am so excited that everyone made it out today, especially because I know there is a hangover from the train strike, so I really appreciate you all getting here on time this morning. Listen, as Rashi said, we have an absolutely jam-packed agenda for you this afternoon. We are going to be hearing from the leaders and the founders that are truly transforming financial services and our whole world for the better. We are going to be looking at the use cases of where fintechs are making a positive impact and helping individuals and SMEs navigate through this cost of living crisis, building on the great work that we did with our partner EY and the report and hackathon earlier this year. We're going to be hearing about how we can harness new technology to really benefit the end consumer. And we're also going to be looking at how we can make an even bigger impact, not only through partnerships, but also through disruption as well. Now, Rashi mentioned it, but first of all, I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors for today's forum. A huge thank you to Barclays, Rise, and also Visa, our gold sponsors, to NTT Data, TransUnion, WNS, Lloyds Bank, Google Cloud, Zilch, and also Level 39. As always, a massive thank you to every single one of our members here in the room today. You inspire us every day, and we're so proud to serve you. And also a huge thank you to the incredible Innovate Finance team that have worked so hard to bring this forum to you today, especially Amelia Martinez and Liz Nathan as well. So I mentioned impact earlier, and I want to talk a little bit about this concept, because for at least the last decade, we have talked about the impact that fintech has had, not just on society, but on building a better world. But we have struggled to find a way to quantify and measure that impact, which is why I am so excited today to announce that we are releasing today a new Innovate Finance report in collaboration with our awesome partners Accenture and also with Vested Impact and Data City on the FinTech impact, working through the world's to-do list. This report will assess, measure, and quantify the impact against 5 key priority areas of people, place, purpose, productivity, and peace. And it will look at how fintech is impacting all of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It will measure our real impact as a sector. And potentially as important, it will look at the gaps of where we need to do even better and step up as a sector as well. Our report found that 98% of the UK fintech ecosystem is positively contributing toward the UK economy and growth. And the only 2% that are outside of that are so small as to be early stage, pre-seed, to deemed not to have a significant impact. In addition, 97% of our UK FinTech ecosystem is having a medium to very high positive impact on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we as a sector are actually far ahead of many other sectors in terms of our positive impact, including retail, apparel, and construction. 25%, a quarter of our industry, is directly addressing inclusivity and exclusion through providing better services and products and greater access. And more than a third of our ecosystem is positively impacting, 36% I should say, is positively impacting peace, including strong institutions and justice through reducing illicit flows of money and also through increasing authentication through platforms such as compliance platforms or KYC. But despite all this positive context, there are still some gaps. Only 9% of our UK FinTech industry is having a positive impact on climate. And although FinTech and new entrants are doing better than the large incumbent financial institutions when it comes to impacting the planet, we as a sector are still having a net negative impact on our planet. When we think about diversity, women-led businesses in FinTech are more than 50% less likely to receive private investment than other sectors. Now, I see these gaps as actually huge opportunities for our sector to stand up and take a leading role. When you think about climate and the planet, so much of reaching our net zero goals is around data. It's around how we harness data, how we measure data, how we utilize data, and how we aggregate data. And data is what FinTechs do best. When we think about diversity, we are a community of people who look at the world in different ways. We value new perspectives, we value new ideas. So I believe and I know we can even do better on the diversity front than we already are, and we'll continue that positive momentum. Now, we cannot do it all alone. We need industry and government to be supporting our industry and regulators to be all working together to supporting our world-leading, thriving UK FinTech ecosystem to ensure it reaches its fullest positive impact potential. We are in the midst of a cost of living crisis right now. We know that individuals and businesses, large and small, are struggling every single day. We also know that more than 50% of all SME lending done in the United Kingdom today is being done by FinTech, challenger banks, alternative lenders, and non-bank lenders. We also know that every single day, individuals are turning towards FinTech and digital tools to help them manage their money, grow their money, budget better, save their money, and navigate through this cost of living crisis. We have one of the highest adoption rates in the world here in the UK, with 8 out of every 10 adults using at least one FinTech tool. Every day, our sector is having a positive impact and driving greater financial inclusion and financial wellness. And now it's time we have the same positive impact on our planet and on our climate as well. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the reasons that I love being a part of this community and why I'm so proud to represent the UK FinTech industry is because we are a community of doers. Give us a challenge, and we will find a way to overcome it. Give us a problem, and we will find a solution. Give us something that's working fine, and we will find a way to make it work even better. And so that's my challenge out to you today. What more can you and your firm do to drive an even greater impact on an even larger number of people and on our planet? What can you do on an individual basis? And what can we all do together on a collective basis? So every single one of you in the room here today has already had an astonishing impact on creating not just a better financial services system, but a better world. But I know there's a lot more to come. So I am so excited to see the impact that our sector will have over the next 10 years. Thank you all so much for joining us today, and I hope you have a fantastic forum.